Dana, you're quick. You're quick to point out that the sport, the UFC, is not mainstream yet. Obviously, it has a lot of room to grow, but as huge as it's gotten in 20 years, particularly since you and the Fertittas have owned it, part of the appeal, I think, is the grassroots approach, the connectivity with the fans and the fighters. Is there anything in the back of your mind that makes you think, I want to make sure this thing doesn't get too big and lose touch with
There's no
fans?
such thing. I mean, have I lost touch? We're doing the same scrums we've been doing since, you don't see me going out, that's the end of our press conference, boys. I got to leave now. Moving on. You know what I mean? We're still here doing the scrums. I still get on the internet. I still go toe-to-toe with people on Twitter. I still go out and talk to fans. The fighters still talk to fans. The difference is, the bigger we get, the more people we talk to, the more people we hang out with, the more incredible, not to mention the fact that, this whole bullshit idea that there's too many fights. We haven't had a bad fight. As far as I can remember, is Henderson and Pettis, because I start to lose track after that because we're doing so much shit. And I know it even goes before that. When's the last fight that everybody was like, all right, this one wasn't so great. Wish I stayed in Vegas and covered this one on TV. When was that last fight? That's it.
It's interesting that you bring that up about when people say there are too many fights, because for somebody like me, I don't like a sport where somebody doesn't hit someone. So do you think that people like me get overlooked, or people who cover sports the way that I do get overlooked, in terms of a lot of people are looking at football, basketball, hockey, but there are sports fans who are only interested in combat sports?
Right. So those are what you call the hardcores, okay? You have the hardcores that are only interested. I'm a hardcore. I'll watch the Patriots game on Sunday. I'll cruise around with a little bit of football. Other than that, no other sport has my attention, okay? I care about boxing, I care about MMA, and I care about any good fight that could be perceived that there's a good fight going to happen. I'll go to a small show. I'll go to any fights. Then you have people who, like this weekend, there's 20th anniversary, there's some buzz, there's some people who hang out on the fringe and have some friends that are into it, so they'll get into it. And then if you have an even bigger fight, which will be Anderson Silva, I think, this is just my opinion, I'm sure you all have your own, that fight will pull in people that don't even watch. People who maybe watch one a year, if that, because there's just big spillover on that. This is a big event and I have to watch it.
Dana, doing all the 20th anniversary retrospective stuff, is there any aspect of the history of the timeline that this brought up, reminded you of, that had sort of been forgotten, any particular story or aspect of it?
Fighter?
Yeah, just the whole evolution.
We shot 8 weeks. Like Koscheck said, if that edit team went back, they could go back and do another full season of The Ultimate Fighter with a completely different story than what you saw the first time. We're in that place for 8 weeks. That's 2 months, man. It was crazy. The guys were starting to lose their mind and they were starting to freak out. Again, when we talk back about the things that happened and didn't happen, close to the end of the show, and I might have told this before, I don't remember, but Stephan Bonner went into the shower and turned the shower on. Now, this house was out in the middle of the fucking desert. Like a house in the desert by itself. Nothing was around there. We took the alcohol out because the big fight broke out. He climbed out the window and went looking for alcohol. He's gone for 3 hours, okay? Like they're going to think he's taking a 3-hour shower. They end up opening the door. He's gone. They call me. I was going to kick him off the show for leaving the house. And something, I don't know what, just fucking said, fuck it. It's the end of the season. He's making it to the finale. I'm not going to kick him off the show.
The Fertittas talked about on the Fighting for a Generation documentary about how their father advised them against buying the promotion.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Was there anybody in your personal life that thought you were crazy or tried to get your ear at the time?
You know who my mom is?
Have you seen the book?
No. Nobody was telling me this is a bad idea. The thing that's amazing about that, again, another thing, the Fertittas never, ever not did something that their father said, I don't think it's a good idea. They never did. And Frank's thing was, our dad's wrong on this one. He's wrong on this one. We think that this can be something. And nobody became a bigger fan before he passed away than Mr. Fertitta. And he told the boys, you were right and I was wrong. This was the right decision.